Welcome to 'Cause We're Nerds, the podcast that covers trends and new releases in comics, movies, video games, board games, and much more. I'm your host Caleb, and with me is my brother Jacob.
Hola, mi amigos.
It's time to fight as we pit some of your favorite anime characters against each other. Who will win and who will fall? Find out on this week's episode of 'Cause We're Nerds. So Jacob, I literally just now found out a very interesting piece of trivia. You know the movie Polar Express?
I do know the movie Polar Express.
Did you know that every single person in that movie was played by Tom Hanks?
No way.
Yeah, he did the motion capture for all of them.
What?
Yeah, weird, right?
Like, even the 12-year-old girl?
Yeah, well, maybe, but he did like Santa, and he did the Tom Hanks guy, and he did the little boy, and he did a bunch of them.
What?
Yeah, he pretty much did all of them.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, weird.
Huh. You learn something new every day, being brothers with Caleb.
Thanks, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube.
Oh, man. So, update on allergies for me. I feel like I've been dying the last few weeks. I think I'm better now. So this week I can actually speak and not be all raspy and scratchy voice and coughing and stuff.
Nice. I like it. Me, on the other hand, it hasn't really been bothering me, but me and Dad went in the back, and for those of you that don't know, which is literally almost everybody else that doesn't listen to this, my backyard backs up to like woodland areas, and so we wanted to expand it back just a little bit, and so we dug like a fire line and we set it on fire, you know, because that's what you do. And
what?
Yeah, I have videos. I'll show you later. Yeah, we just set the backyard on fire.
Oh, cool.
Also, for those of you that don't know, me and Dad are volunteer firefighters, so we kind of know what we're doing. Him way more than me. But, so yeah, we sat there and we watched it. But all the pollen was coming up as we were burning the plants. Mm-hmm. And I got smacked in the face a couple times. I stepped on some briars and got stabbed. That was not delightful.
Was this today?
Oh, yeah, this was like a few hours ago. Yeah. So this was, by the time this podcast comes out, this would have been 4 days ago.
Nice.
3 days ago. Yeah.
I just went to work today.
Yeah. I mean, I basically went to work, and Dad had his radio on him to make sure that nobody called the fire department, you know, because there was a lot of smoke coming up. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's fine. Nobody died. Nice. The backyard's more cleared. It was kind of still wet, so it didn't burn super well, but, you know, it's fine. We can always do it again.
You know, that made me think of something fun that I did yesterday. Yesterday was April Fool's Day, and my boss wasn't at work. So we spent about 3 hours covering his desk, his wall, and everything in aluminum foil. Everything. His computer was wrapped, his mouse and the mouse cable was wrapped, each individual plastic fork he had on his desk, his chair. It was just completely aluminum. It kind of looked like a 60s like sci-fi movie or something.
Wow. Did he come into work today?
Oh yeah. Oh, he found it.
What was his reaction?
Well, he was a little under the weather, so it was a little muted, but the general consensus was, wow, this is very detailed. Well, if you're going to do it, go for it all the way.
That's awesome. I remember you telling me that you thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't know if he's going to actually do it. You did.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I bought 4 rolls of foil to do it, because I figured it's going to be one of those things where you think 1 or 2 rolls can do it, and then, you know, you run out really fast. We did almost the entire thing on 1 roll, and I'm like, I just wasted all this money on this extra foil.
Think about how many baked potatoes you can make now.
If only we had potatoes.
If only you had an oven.
If only I knew what a potato was.
If only potatoes existed.
Speaking of potatoes, as Zach clearly stated in the group text we were all in, this morning was a little bit of potatoes, because the tickets for Avengers Endgame went on sale, and Fandango and AMC and all the other online places where you can buy movie theater tickets completely crashed, turned into potatoes, didn't work at all. I spent over an hour trying to buy tickets. It was about an hour and a half until I finally got through on Fandango, and it still really wasn't working at that point. So I don't know how long it took until it leveled out.
Well, Caleb, that's because every nerd/geek in the entire world, especially the US, obviously, because that's when the tickets went on, got on at one time because they didn't want to be left out of one of the biggest events of the decade, in my opinion, because this is huge.
Yeah,
this is huge.
Yeah, I know it's broke tons of records in ticket sales already. One thing I read said that it's got triple the amount of sales that Infinity War did when it went live last year. I don't know. I didn't expect it to be that overcrowded, or I didn't expect the websites not to be prepared.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like with colleges. When my college opens every year and I sign up for classes, they have almost all the students get on, and I guess the websites are just not prepared for that, and maybe they think they have enough. And this was actually the first year out of the past, 12 years for Dalton that it didn't crash. So that was super nice. But Fandango is not with their, I guess they didn't expect so many people to try to get on so quick.
Well, AMC's site was completely jacked. It was hosed.
Really?
It kept kicking people out of their login session. It was all jacked up. I was trying to go through them if I could, because we have A-List Premiere, whatever it's called, where we get 3 free movies a week. And I was like, I would love to use this as one of my free movies. Fandango, when you went to get it, it actually put you in a digital wait list, which is the first time I've ever seen that on their site. That was frustrating because it got down to 20-something minutes, and then all of a sudden jumped up to over an hour, which means it pushed me back in line, which really frustrated me because it said so long as you leave it open, it'll be fine. And then finally, I waited for the hour, got down to 0, and I was trying to get my tickets, and then it said error. And it's like,
ooh,
why did I wait this long? For a page that just tells me I can't get it. What's the point of the queue if it's not going to prevent errors?
Absolutely no bueno. That's what that is.
Yeah, although I ended up doing some trickery and opening other tabs and stuff, and I ended up getting through on Fandango.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
well, speaking of our favorite heroes and awesome things of that nature, Caleb, you know what we're doing today?
I do believe we're having a anime showdown. Showdown.
That is exactly what we are doing, Caleb. Everybody, I have spent the approximate last 2 hours gathering different...
Oh, wow.
Yep. Gathering different characters from your favorite animes, my favorite animes, learning a bit about characters I didn't know about, doing some more research.
I just want to point out a pet peeve that you just did of mine.
Oh, man.
It's just anime. It's not animes. The plural of anime is anime. It's like sheep. Look at all those sheep, Jacob. How many sheep are there? There's tons of sheep.
I say there's lots of sheeps. So, I think we're in a predicament.
Get out. Of my podcast, I guess. Since we're not in the same room.
I'll take my anime showdown with me. Boom, boom. But yeah, so I have set together 9 matches. I don't know if we'll get through all of them. Depending on time, we're going to try. And I've also set together some rules and guidelines. Would you like to go ahead and jump in, Caleb?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so these are the basic guidelines for this, okay? Each match is set in a different place that I kind of customize for the characters that are being used in that specific match. But every character will see the other character as an enemy and has to either knock them out or kill them to win, okay? All characters are in their prime. However, if characters can power up or evolve, kind of like think of Goku with the Super Saiyan forms, they can only do so once. So, Goku can only go to Super Saiyan. He can't go to Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So that's the basic guidelines, right?
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
So you said either knock them out or kill. Is the goal to kill, or is it if the character would normally kill, that's what he does, or if he would normally knock out, that's what he does?
Okay, so the goal is just to win. They can do so however you deem fit.
So goal is to incapacitate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically how this is going to go is I'm going to give you the 2 characters, and I also wrote down what anime they're from. So I'll give the anime in case the listeners don't realize. Okay?
All right.
So let's go ahead and jump right in with a big one, Caleb, that you and I have already talked about. Number 1, Goku from Dragon Ball Z versus All Might from My Hero Academia, and they meet in the countryside that is mainly farmland.
Ready? Fight! I don't know, I just kind of wanted to do that.
No, I mean, I liked it. So, yeah, hit me with what you're thinking.
Okay, so I'm assuming All Might is going to be in his powered ups. Oh, by the way, spoilers for all of these. Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, I'm just going to run down the list of what animes are in here, just in case you're curious.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, Gundam, Attack on Titan, Sailor Moon, Kill la Kill, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bleach, Naruto, Cowboy Bebop, Afro Samurai, The Last Airbender, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Ghost in the Shell, and Sword Art Online, and Digimon.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What a list.
So, if you don't want to be spoiled, what I'll do is after I give the 2 characters and I say where they'll meet, we will pause for a second so you can skip ahead or something if you want to. Okay.
So, I'm assuming All Might is in his powered-up state.
Yes.
Okay, and Goku likes to taunt his opponent, so I'm thinking he comes out and he doesn't power up to Super Saiyan just yet.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so here's the thing with these characters and the reason I thought they'd be an interesting pair, they both have a habit of breaking through their limits. Goku's made a career out of breaking through the limits and, as he says, to go beyond, And All Might, as we have seen in the show, and I guess the manga, if you read the manga, is able to break through his perceived limits as well, even if it means hurting himself. So this one's tough. I'm not really sure.
So I agree with you completely. I also think their personalities are kind of very similar. Both of them are very happy-go-lucky, even in fights. All Might always has that smile, and he likes to I feel like he likes to show off a little bit, whereas Goku likes to taunt, like you said. So I definitely feel like towards the beginning of the fight, All Might would be winning, because I just think Goku wouldn't necessarily take him serious, the battle serious at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But once Goku goes Super Saiyan, it's so close. I really don't know.
Well, here's the thing. We haven't actually seen All Might in his prime, because his prime would have been before he got damaged.
That's true. And my thinking was, whenever I was thinking who was going to win this, because I haven't really thought about these ahead of time, but as I'm writing them briefly, things just flew into my head. Goku can shoot projectiles. All Might can't.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I think that that's definitely going to put him at a disadvantage. What I'm thinking is Goku would start the fight out, fight him a little bit. He would eventually shoot a couple energy blasts at All Might. All Might would probably either dodge them or just punch them and withstand them until he gets to the real stuff, like the Kamehameha. That's where I'm not really sure what All Might would do. The thing is, once Goku unleashes one of those, he just stays in that pose. He doesn't he can't move it around, or he doesn't at least. And so if All Might's able to dodge that and get behind him, that's a really good hit.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, I think, though, when it comes down to it, so again, we haven't seen All Might in his prime, but we know that All Might can get injured. He's not invulnerable. So I think if Goku does land a hit, though, All Might's gonna tire out pretty fast after that, especially if it's a substantial hit from I don't know, let's just say a Kamehameha.
Yeah. The thing that's definitely in All Might's favor, though, is I think All Might's smarter. I think he's way more of a tactician. And I think that he could end up getting the upper hand on Goku because All Might is not just going to let him, if he's perceived as a threat, he's not just going to let him rampage or go, fight him for too long. All Might's going to go and incapacitate him as quickly as possible. And he's not going to try to kill him. That's not what All Might does. So I kind of think that this would go to All Might. I think he'd be able to get behind him, dodge him, do whatever he needed to do early in the battle before Goku can really power up.
It's so hard because Goku also has, what is it called in the show? It's basically like substitution, but it's not.
Instant transmission?
Instant transmission.
That's
Thank you.
different.
I couldn't think. I know it's different. I couldn't think of what it was called. So that would play on Goku's side, but I still think you're right. I think All Might's just smarter in this battle, and I think Smart are where it's really gonna help him because their power level is just so similar, even when Goku goes into Super Saiyan.
Detroit to smash!
That was beautiful. So, round 1.
I'm just like All Might.
All Might.
I do a giant smash and then cough blood everywhere. For the record, there was no blood.
Aw. Did you just lie to us?
Well, I did cough.
Punch yourself in the chest so now you cough up blood. It's only fair. Alright, so round 1 goes to All Might from My Hero Academia. Alright. Round 2! Okay, now this one is from Gundam and Attack on Titan. So if you want to, go and leave for that. So the first one is Zeta Gundam. Caleb, do you know which one that is?
That's the Z Gundam. Hold on, I can look it up.
Yep. So
You
basically,
can
for those of you that are listening, if you can't look it up, it's the typical Gundam that you think of, the blue and white one. However, this one is a little bit more souped up, just a little bit, and has a long shield on its arm.
Yeah, this is... Sorry, I was trying to look up what he's originally from. Oh. That makes sense. The Zeta Gundam is from Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, which is the second Gundam series they did. So it is very similar to the original. I think it's more mobile, a little bit, it moves around a little bit easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
So Zeta Gundam, which is Z Gundam from Gundam. And then Colossus Titan. For those of you that don't, from Attack on Titan, and those of you that don't know, this is the typical Titan that you think of with the muscular face with the skin stripped away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is that Titan. So these two are going to meet in a post-apocalyptic city.
You
wow,
still
that
missed
was a
it.
mouthful. I know. I was just going to go with it. Apocalyptic. There you go. Post-apocalyptic. Okay. You know what I mean. And also, just so you guys get a size comparison, it was kind of hard to get it in my head, so I looked up actually sizes for these. So the Gundam is about 20 meters tall, which puts it about 66 feet. The Titan is 60 meters tall, which puts it about at 197 feet.
Oh, okay. That's a lot bigger than I thought. So it's about 3 times the size of the Gundam.
Exactly.
Okay. I haven't seen Attack on Titan. Have you seen?
Okay.
Have you?
Yes, I have seen some on Attack on Titan, yes.
Okay. So my understanding of the Titans are that they're basically giant things that can move pretty fast, and that's it. They eat people. They don't have any special powers.
So they actually do have a little bit of special powers. So basically they can control, especially this one, I don't know about them all, but the Colossus Titan can control the amount of steam that comes off the body. So whenever they are transforming into the Titan, depending what's going on, they can take the energy from around them and lash it back out. So let's say if you were to punch me as I was transforming to a Titan, I could unleash about that same energy as an explosion back. However, if I was in there and let's say a nuke hit as I was transforming, I could expel the energy of a nuke. Does that make sense?
Interesting. I didn't even know they transformed.
Yeah. So, that's really about the only power. They're pretty fast. They're pretty strong. And And their durability is pretty good too.
But I do know they're very susceptible to being cut because the main characters use blades to like slice them and dice them, right?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that Gundams have is a laser sword. I'm assuming this Gundam also has one. I've been trying to look it up to see if I can tell. I don't know. Do you know if he has one?
I didn't see anything, and I was looking at the weapons, but he could.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty standard for Gundams.
Okay, well then let's just say he has it.
I'm trying to look it up. All I'm seeing right now is a giant gun. Don't you love it when we come unprepared to a podcast that we're supposed to know? All right. I'm going to say he has one because almost every Gundam model I've ever built has one.
Okay.
So, if he has a giant laser sword, I think that gives him a significant advantage.
Okay.
Although I think the Gundam is going to be a lot slower than the Titan, which is going to be a major disadvantage for the Gundam.
And also remember, this will come into play. They're meeting in a post-apocalyptic, a city that's been destroyed.
So the thing that would help the Gundam is they can fly. Mm-hmm. So the Gundam could totally go up, 700, 800 feet in the air and theoretically be out of the jumping distance of the Titan.
Yep, that is true.
But are the Titans susceptible to gunfire?
So I think what it kind of is like is they will be susceptible, putting enough pressure on them from gunfire, but each individual one is not. It would kind of be like getting flicked. If you get flicked a lot, you're going to form a bruise, and it's eventually going to start like wearing on you, even though each individual one is not doing that much damage. That was a really good metaphor.
I think that this one pretty clearly goes to the Titan. I think the Gundam is too slow, to be honest. If the size wasn't so much of a difference, I think that it could potentially go in the Gundam's favor. But the fact that the Titan is 3 times the height, that means if it had a full-size sword, it might be the width of the Titan's arm, which is just going to make it hard to use in general, and the Titans are so fast. I mean, if the Gundam went in to attack it, it could probably just swat it away.
My thing is also, since it is in a post-apocalyptic city, the Titan it is very large, but the Titan can kind of take cover from the fire, even if the Gundam was to set off a barrage of things. And the Titan also will have projectiles to throw back and forth. Yes, the Gundam will be high up in the air, but if the Titan's really that strong, imagine using a skyscraper like a spear and just throwing it, and the Gundam, I don't know if the Gundam's fast enough to be able to dodge that.
Yeah, it can be, but I'm thinking like if it gets up close and the Titan swipes at it, it's not going to be able to move that fast.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Game over.
Yeah, and the Gundams, they're sturdy, but they're not that sturdy. They're actual like machines, so no, I think this one goes to the Titan.
Awesome. Round 2, Titan. I'm gonna do that for you, round.
Okay.
So this next one is from Sailor Moon and Kill la Kill. So if you haven't seen those, go ahead and jump off now. Skip ahead a little bit. And the first one is Sailor Moon from Sailor Moon.
What?
Versus, and I'm going to butcher this name, Ryuku Matoi.
Okay, yeah, the main character from Kill la Kill,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, this is the one that has the red scissor blades.
So we've got mostly clothed magical girl versus mostly not clothed magical girl.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And these two are going to meet inside just a football stadium.
Okay, I thought you were going to say a school because that makes sense.
I thought about a school, but the reason I didn't choose a school is it's actually going to inhibit some of their abilities on both of those sides. And so I thought having them in an open area would be better. So let's say it's a football stadium at a school.
Okay, so I'm assuming both of them have already transformed because otherwise they're just two normal people.
Yep.
All right. I don't know. that much about either of these, to be honest. Obviously, I know who Sailor Moon is, and I know she's got this moon prism power or whatever. I don't actually know what that does. I don't know if it's a beam or something. And for the Kill la Kill girl, I know she can fight pretty well. I know the scissors, maybe they're sentient or something. I don't remember exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of really depends on what Sailor Moon can do.
So I actually called our resident expert in Sailor Moon. I called your wife and talked to her for a little bit on this. Kind of got the lowdown. So Sailor Moon by herself is not the most powerful. She's more of a team player because she enhances other people's abilities, basically.
Okay.
However, she does have some fighting technique, but all of her power comes from an object with a crystal in it. So apparently she has different objects with crystals and she can do different things. She can shoot beams like from these objects or from her hands while she's wielding an object or something like that. Now, Ryuku is an excellent at swordsmanship. That sentence made sense.
She has some real struggles today.
I know, man. She has superhuman combat, and then she actually has regeneration, which almost makes her immortal.
Okay.
But the problem is, I think Sailor Moon is faster than Ryuku.
Oh, really? Because... Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, so Ryuku basically, whenever she tries to land hits, they're more like powerful hits, and she kind of stays in that stance for a second, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now she is fast, but from what I saw, and this is just my opinion, it appeared like Sailor Moon was a bit faster. That could be wrong, but that's just what I saw. Yeah, before I say the rest, what are you thinking?
Okay, so the problem with comparing these is going to be we're comparing an anime that was done in the 80s or 90s versus an anime that was done in the 2010s, and the animation styles are very different because in my mind, Kill la Kill is super fast, very fast paced. There's a lot going on, which makes the characters look like they move very fast. On the other side, Sailor Moon, it's an older anime, so there's not as much a focus on that fast style. And to me, she's always been a very stationary character. Like, I've seen her fight hand to hand, and it's pretty slow. So, right off the bat, I was thinking that the Kill la Kill one was way faster.
Okay. And that may be the case. When I was looking at it, I lended some of that movement to fast camera transactions and moving back and forth, because they are very flashy in their fights. Now, granted, she is fast. I assumed, and from what I saw, part of that was because of the different camera angles they were using and the different technique, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I see what you're saying. I haven't seen Sailor Moon. This is just strictly off, like, looking stuff up and talking to some people, to be honest. So, I don't know. At initial glance and thinking about it, I still think Ryuku has this one.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think so too. Because I definitely think she's faster. And I think I don't know if she kills, but she would definitely go in and do a major, major hit on Sailor Moon and just gash her open, and then she's bleeding everywhere, and then maybe she dies.
Yep. And the problem is, if Ryuku gets in close to Sailor Moon and she hits away whatever object Sailor Moon is using, Sailor Moon's basically defenseless.
Oh yeah, that's a major weakness.
Yeah, like that's huge. Sailor Moon, I feel like, is more of a distance character. She does have that hand-to-hand, but Courtney said even her hand-to-hand's not very good.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, well, sweet. Round 3, Ryuku. I think it's Ryuko, or...
I can look it up if you want.
It's R-Y-U-K-O.
That doesn't help because I wasn't prepared for that.
I think it's Ryuku.
All right.
Maybe?
Ryuko.
Ah, man. Ryuko. I was saying that whenever I first started typing in, I said, that doesn't sound like a girl's name, so I changed it to Ryuku.
No, it's definitely Ryuko.
Okay, and the last name, Matoi? It's definitely not Matoi.
I clicked the link and I lost the name. Hold on. Matoi.
Matoi. Okay. Okay. I was semi-close on the last name. Interesting. Okay. Round 4. Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! So this one I'm excited about. So we have Ash Ketchum from Pokemon versus Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! They are going to meet in a Pokemon gym, and both characters have access to what they normally would in a battle.
Okay, so in my mind, this is classic Ash from the original series.
Yep.
So he's got maybe a Blastoise, maybe a Charizard, maybe a Venusaur, those classic Pokemon. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yu-Gi-Oh! From, again, his original series, but at the height of it. So he's got like a Slifer, he's got Dark Magician Girl.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, maybe.
Maybe, although that wasn't really his card. He had more
That's true.
Buster Blader and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Maybe, actually, that might have been Kaiba that actually had that one. But stuff like that. So I'm assuming that his cards aren't just holograms?
Yeah, so the way that I was thinking about this is they are cards, and he does have to spend the time to place them, which won't really matter because Ash has to spend the time to throw the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they'll put it even on that front, but the cards are not hologram, though they are, but once they die, they disappear.
So they're physically there.
Yes.
This time, the monsters are real.
Hey, that was good.
That was a slogan for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island way back in the day.
That was solid. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, make sure you don't accidentally take that out during editing.
I won't. I probably just won't edit at all, you know?
Well, I mean, when we run the noise gate, that might that might get caught, so be careful. Anyway, yee. See, this one's tough because I feel like Ash could basically pull out Pikachu and be like, shock him, and Yugi's done. I mean, he's basically been electrocuted.
Sorry, continue.
On the other hand, Yugi could pull out Slifer and be like, sup, boys, and just eradicate Ash.
But same rules apply, right? This is how I was thinking about it. I think the same rules apply like in the card game. So if he pulls it out, he couldn't play that without sacrificing other monsters.
But they're not waiting each other's turns, right?
That's true. This is why it's so hard.
He could just throw down 2 monsters and then be like, I sacrifice you, and throw down, Heart of the Cards version 3.
That's true. Okay, let's say this. Let's say here's how we're gonna do this. Yugi has a hand, and he can have a max of like 5 monsters at a time, just like regular. He does have to sacrifice, but there's like no turns. So if he draws 5 cards at the beginning and they're all 5 monsters, he can immediately play all 5 of those and then draw 5 more cards.
Okay. Here's how I think this would go down. It really comes down to chance at the beginning, because if Ash can get out one of his Pokemon and Yugi can get out one of his monsters, they're going to be at it for a while. In the meantime, Yugi can be playing other cards, specifically like trap cards and magic cards, that could definitely inhibit Ash's Pokemon. Because Ash can only have 1 Pokemon out there at a time. Yugi can have 5 monsters out there at a time. Also, while he's doing this, he could be collecting the pieces of Exodia to summon Exodia, and then game over.
See, my only thing is... Wait, do you say Ash can only have 1 Pokemon at a time?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that... I mean, that's the way Pokemon battles typically work.
Well...
Are you saying he can throw all of them out there at once?
Predicament.
Because, I mean, like, in the games, there are team battles. Like, there's been up to, I think, 3v3.
Okay, you know what we're gonna say to make this fair? Whatever side we say, however monsters Yugi can have, or however many Pokemon Ash can have, the other person can only have that many. So let's say Yugi can only have 3 monsters.
Okay, that completely changes my opinion then.
Okay,
I think Ash would win because even if Yugi can get 3 monsters out, I'm imagining they act the same way they would sort of in a card game, so they're not really going to be able to defend super well against 3 things hitting them at once. I think that the combination of like a Pikachu, a Charizard, and a Blastoise could easily eat through that defense and then go straight for Yugi. I don't think that he's going to have enough time to be able to keep up with the speed at which the Pokemon can attack.
My thing also is that monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! Typically their attacks will only impact one other thing. Now, Pikachu can do a charge attack and affect everything around him. He can do a Thunderbolt. However, let's just say Blue Eyes White Dragon can only really attack one person at a time.
Right.
Or one thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I totally think that Ash has this one in the bag.
However, Yugi does have spell and trap cards, right? So ultimately what it comes down to, kind of like you said, is just chance. What if Yugi draws the card that he uses? Oh my goodness. The Swords of Revealing Light. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing can touch him. I don't know how long that would be in this battle, because it's not really on a turn-based thing. But even some traps and stuff, some traps will really hurt the Pokemon and things like that. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to imagine because these, I guess you could say, mangas or animes are so different from one another. And even though card games are very different from one another, it's hard to imagine.
Okay. What about Ash playing Pokemon the card game and Yugi playing Duel Monsters the card game against each other?
Oh, okay. Alright. I think Yugi has it, if you're talking about the card game.
Because he has the heart of the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ash has the motivation and the unwillingness to give up.
Yeah, but the unwillingness to give up doesn't change the fact that you have to have enough energy to play the Pokemon.
You're not wrong. And in Yu-Gi-Oh! and Duel Monsters, you don't have to have another card to play a regular monster.
Unless it's 5 stars or more.
Right.
Then you have to have another monster.
Right, but even basic Pokemon, you definitely have to have.
See?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Yugi has this.
So I think with a card game, we'll say that Yugi definitely has in the bag. However, when it comes to real life, I agree with you. I think Ash would ultimately come out.
So it's basically just like the anime. Yugi's great at card games, but terrible at real life.
You're right.
Way to go, Heart of the Cards.
So we're just going to say, round 4, we got Ash in real life and Yugi in the card game. Solid.
Oh, man.
Solid.
Oh, boy.
All right. I'm actually going to skip this next one and come back to it, because the next one is one of my favorite ones. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Okay.
Okay. You sound like you're, like, tasting a burger for the first time, like you're a food reviewer. You've just taken a bite, you're like, okay. I see what's going on here. Okay.
I could never be, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be like a feud reviewer, but then I realized I just cram it in my face.
It definitely sounded like you said feud. A feud reviewer.
Yes. Watch a lot of feuds, Family Feud, Feudal Japan, all the feuds.
That super traditional hillbilly feud, whatever it was called.
Yes.
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yes. But speaking about feuds and feudal Japan, our next match... Did you like that transition?
Very good.
is from Cowboy Bebop and Afro Samurai.
Mm.
So we have Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop and Afro Samurai from Afro Samurai, and they meet in feudal Japan in a village.
Ooh, I like this one.
Thanks.
I really like this one. So Afro doesn't go out of his way to find trouble, but he deals with it when it shows up. Kind of like Spike, except Spike's a bounty hunter, so he does kind of go looking. Although he is lazy, he does like the most minimal amount of work possible. So I'm thinking that when they see each other, even if Spike thinks he's a threat, he's just going to try to talk to him and disarm him that way before he even pulls out a weapon.
Okay. So do you think Afro's going to end up making the first move when Spike is talking to him, or...
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've seen Afro Samurai. I think that he would talk to him as well, and then they would probably both move at the same time, just like in a typical anime.
They'd end up holding hands, sitting down, having a picnic, nobody wins. I think you're right. I think that the talking would kind of escalate, and Spike would reach back for his gun right as Afro pulled his sword out. Spike would do a jumping back maneuver, shoot the first bullet, and Afro would split it, surprising them both, and thus beginning the battle.
Yeah, I think this one would be really intense. I think that Afro was definitely obviously going to try to close the gap between them to get close to him, and Spike is going to try to stay away. Does Spike have his ship?
No.
Okay.
So all of these characters, if they, let's say if it was Batman would have everything that he typically has on him. However, he would not have the Batmobile.
Okay. Yeah, I think Spike would end up trying to run away to retreat because he knows that he can't really handle Afro. And I think since he doesn't have his spaceship, if he had a spaceship, he'd get in it and either run the guy down or just disappear. But since he doesn't, I think Afro would end up catching up with him and like really brutally murdering him. Like cutting off his head, maybe cutting off his arms first, and then saying something really cool in the Samuel Jackson voice, and then just killing him.
Now you have to remember, even if Afro does close the gap, Spike is still a skilled martial artist, though.
He's a skilled martial artist, but he doesn't fight anybody with a sword. He fights people with knives, and he's okay with that, but like a big sword, that's hard to escape the reach of.
That's true. So, looking up his abilities, and I've actually seen both of these. Not fully, but I have seen both of these. So, interestingly, I went to a couple of sites, and people say that Spike, they think he kind of has a domino effect, because he's extraordinarily lucky, which is true. So, they think he kind of has like a, I don't know what you call a domino's ability. Just luck on his side.
Luck, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. How I kind of envision this battle is Spike is, trying to run away, jumping on top of the buildings, trying to get out of there, and Afro's just catching up, blocking everything he's shooting at him, and Afro's gonna finally kind of close the lead. But what I kind of see happening is Afro, like, going in to hit Spike, and Spike turning around to shoot him, but the sword ends up going in, like, the barrel of the gun, right? And ultimately destroying the sword and the barrel, right? And so they're both kind of defenseless at this point. And then I think they would go to hand, but ultimately, I think Afro would, like, pull some cheap moves and use his broken off sword and just kind of mutilate Spike. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you, but that's just, I wanted to share how I specifically saw it, because I saw it very vividly when I was writing this down. Like, super vividly.
Have you finished Bebop?
No, not yet. I'm close.
Okay. Then I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
You can say it. It's okay.
Nope. I will not. Okay. I still think that Afro has this.
But I think this is a good fight.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think it would be a good fight. I think it would be really cool and fun and interesting. But At the end of the day, Afro is not afraid to kill anybody. And while I don't necessarily think Spike is afraid to kill anybody, I think he prefers not to.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so moving on, let's do this one. Alright, so for the people listening, the great people, this one is Yu Yu Hakusho and Ghost in the Shell. Man, I had a 50-50 shot. I didn't know I was just going to go for it. I didn't want to ask and seem like an idiot, but then I pronounced it wrong.
There's no U there. Why do you think it's Shu?
I don't know, because there's Yu Yu...
Hakusho.
Okay. Yu Yu Hakusho. And Ghost in the Shell.
Which sounds like Yu Yu Hakushogi. Or Hakalugi.
I hated that.
It just doesn't... Hakusho.
Right. Okay. So, we have... Oh, boy. We have...
Yusuke Urameshi.
Thank you. Which, for those of you that don't know, is the guy in the green jacket. The younger kid in the green jacket.
The main character from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I know, I wanted to let them know. And then... Modoko Kusanagi?
What was the other show? I completely forgot when you said Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
It's the main goal.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it's Modoko Kusanagi.
Kusanagi, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and these two are going to meet in a bullet train.
Okay. Alright, so the thing about Hakusho, not Hakusho, that's not his name, Yusuke. The thing about Yusuke is all of his attacks are ranged. Like, that's his thing.
False. His favorite attacks to do are ranged. However, the blast that he used to shoot can be put into his punches and kicks.
Yes, but, like, his main attack, like, his signature attacks are all ranged.
You're right.
Spirit gun, I think shotgun, spirit shotgun.
The spirit gun, spirit shotgun, spirit bolt, and there's one more.
Yeah. On the other hand, Ghost in the Shell, she's got a gun, but she doesn't have any special powers except being able to turn invisible.
Mm-hmm.
She's also an android. So that might play into some of it. What do you think?
So, I kind of had a very vivid imagination for this one, too.
I feel like you have vivid imagination on all of these.
I just like these so much.
Have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Partially. I literally probably 4 episodes, that's it.
Oh, that's a travesty. You gotta watch it. At least through the Dark Tournament saga.
I watched some cool clips. For all these characters, that's kind of why it took me so long. I watched some clips on them, and some of their best fighting techniques and stuff. So, but I didn't want to tell you because you said you kind of wanted to be surprised by these.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, so I kind of think what would happen is, I think they would encounter each other, come from opposite sides of the bullet train, into a cart and see each other. And instantly, I think, Yusuke? Right?
Yusuke.
That's right. Yusuke is literally gonna shoot his, energy bolt or energy pistol or whatever. The one with the single finger that he does. And I think Modoko is immediately gonna jump out the cart on top of the train and try to close the distance between them. So, I think Yusuke's blast will destroy the back part of the bullet train. It's gonna be completely gone, because it's pretty powerful. And I think Modoko is gonna try to jump in one of the side windows and get close to him. And once she's close to him, I don't know that there's a lot he can do. Even if he can put his energy blast within his kicks and punches, he still has to have energy to do that. So overall, I think Modoko being an android would just outlast Yusuke.
Yeah.
And, yeah. What were you saying?
Sorry, I was going to say, the other thing is Yusuke has a limited number of uses for his spirit gun. I technically haven't finished Yu Yu Hakusho because it kind of does fall off a little bit in the second half. But I've seen maybe 3/4 of it. And even up until the point that he still was limited in how many he could shoot. Like 3 or 4 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really going to limit him. And he's not a trained fighter in the way that a martial artist is, or the way that Ghost in the Shell is, because I can't remember what her name is. He's Modoko. More of a... What?
Modoko.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember that. He's more of a brawler. I mean, he's a high school kid who got into trouble. Think about your classic 80s troublemakers and high school style character. That's who he is. And so if she got up close and personal, hands down, she's got him, especially with the invisibility. He might be able to... Actually, he probably won't even be able to detect her at all because she's an android. If he kept her at a distance, I definitely think he has a chance, because all he has to do is get one good shot in. He could blow off both of her legs, and then she would be very demobilized. It'd be hard for her to move around, and then he could, aim really easily and take her out. But it's... I don't know. If she were sent in to kill him, no chance. He's done.
Oh, yeah.
But since they both show up and they see each other, I think she has the upper hand because she's more tactical. But at a distance, he also has an upper hand. Especially if you use shotgun, because shotgun it's like a shotgun. It sends out a whole bunch. So he doesn't even have to be precise with that one.
Yep. And that's kind of what I imagine. If she was to instantly go invisible when they first saw each other, I think he would just put out his shotgun and do it. Now, I think that's a benefit and a drawback, though, because if she's invisible, he is smaller and he is a little smart with fighting, but he's not a trained fighter. I feel like he's going to freak out and do more shotgun shots than he realizes he's doing, and he's going to quickly tire himself out.
That's not really how that works, but...
I mean...
I
don't know. I think Ghost in the Shell is this one. Modoko.
Yeah, I think she's going to end up being able to get close because she's smart about how she does things. Even if he were able to get a couple hits in at the beginning, I do think that she would be able to turn invisible. The trick is, though, if he hits her and damages her invisibility function, then it would be a lot harder for her to win.
That's true. That's very true.
I almost think this one's a tie. I think it's really close. I don't know. I think it really depends on the scenarios in which they meet.
Okay. I could go with a tie. I feel like it really depends how it plays out in the end.
Yeah, I agree.
What most of these...
I mean, that's technically what we're doing, but...
Yeah, but... So, round 6. Tie.
All right, let's do one or two more.
Oh, man. I had 3, and I saved them because they're your favorite.
All right, well, okay, we'll go through them fast.
We'll do quick. Okay. All right, next one. Round 7. It's going to be Bleach and Naruto, so for those of you... Yeah, okay. We have Ichigo from Bleach and Zabuza from Naruto, and they meet on Naruto Bridge.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
First off, like the setup. Initially, I was going to say Ichigo, hands down. But then you said on Naruto Bridge, and I'm thinking, alright, Zabuza's got that mist going on. He could mist Ichigo and silent kill him.
True. However, Ichigo is really good at seeing how his opponent fights, and I think he would be quick enough to dodge the first one, and after seeing Zabuza try it the first time, he wouldn't fall for it again, and I think he could come up with a proper counter strategy to defeat him.
I don't really think that he would be able to do it, because if Zabuza goes for the silent killing technique, which is where he basically brings up a whole bunch of mist, you can't see him. Even Kakashi with the Sharingan couldn't see him. He got hit by him when he came at him. So I think that he would take out Ichigo. I don't think that Zabuza is going to immediately go for that technique first. I think they might have a couple blows, and if they were to stay that way, Ichigo would definitely have it, especially with his later power-ups. But I think that Zabuza is going to eventually realize what's going on and know that he's outmatched, and he's going to use the silent killing technique.
Okay. Alright, so round 7, Zabuza, Naruto. I thought you would like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Round 8, it's Sword Art Online and Digimon. So we
weird.
have, I know, we have Kirito from Sword Art Online, and we have Devimon from Digimon. Caleb, you might need to look up Devimon.
I know who Devimon is.
Okay, well, there you go. And obviously, they're going to meet in the virtual world because both of these animes or mangas take place in the virtual world.
I was just going to ask, I'm like, well, if it's in the real world, then Kirito wins because Devimon doesn't exist in the real world.
Yep.
Kind of. Yeah, actually, that might not be true. Yeah, okay. Anyway, digital world. Okay, so where do they meet?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like a virtual world, kind of like the hub in Digimon.
The hub?
Yeah, like, whenever like the show first starts out and they transform or they go into the virtual world.
Oh, so just a void of nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not really how either show works, but okay. I can go with that.
I mean, you can choose a place. You're more familiar with these two than I am. So why don't you choose a place that they meet
I would say like a forest area, because they both have a lot of like forest-y areas in them.
Okay.
So,
works.
like a forest area. Do you know which version of Kirito we're talking about?
So I saw like 4 different versions of Kirito. I didn't really know the difference. So I would say,
it changes based on the game he's in.
Okay. Let's go with the initial Kirito.
Okay, so SAO, Sword Art Online, OG, Kirito. Okay, so Kirito in that game basically is a super fast, really good swordsman. He can dual wield with 2 swords. Like I said, he's fast. I mean, he doesn't really have anything else other than that besides he's fast and he can dual wield.
In this one, does he have the kind of magic manipulation, or that comes later?
I don't know anything about that, so that's probably later.
Okay, probably later. Continue.
Devimon, on the other hand, just kind of shoots bats at you.
Yeah, he can shoot unholy energy from his hands.
Let me look up Devimon.
I got you. I got his 3 movesets right here.
Okay.
So he has the Touch of Evil, which basically means he extends both of his arms even farther and enforces his will on his opponent's body. Second one, Death Hand. He unleashes a blast of unholy energy from his hands. And the last one is Deadly Nail. He scratches using the nails on both sides of his hands.
See, here's the thing. Devimon could come up to Kirito and use that mind control-y thing. But Kirito's the main character of an anime, which means by all odds, he's going to come out of anything, even if it's not possible.
That's true. That is so true.
By Sword Art Online standards, he's going to be able to beat Devimon at the last second when there's no hope left. Something ridiculous is going to happen, and he's going to break out of their control, and he's going to beat him.
I can respect that.
I mean, logically, though, it'd probably be Devimon.
Okay, so... Alright, since we're doing most of these logically, round 8 goes to Devimon from Digimon. Okay. Last one.
Although Kirito, really.
Yeah, you're right. I'm excited for this one. You ready?
Yeah.
Round 7. The Last Airbender and One Piece.
Alright, so I want to point out, we know that The Last Airbender is not technically an anime.
Yeah.
However, it is kind of like an American-made anime. So,
and it has its own mangas now, so...
Yeah, get off your high horse.
Especially with the spin-offs that it has. It's... Yeah. Anyways, so we have Aang from The Last Airbender versus Luffy from One Piece. And it's funny that the last one was in a forest, because this one they meet in a forest, but in the real world.
Okay, so... Luffy versus who's the other one?
Aang
from Airbender.
So, yep. So, this is in their prime, so Aang can control all the elements.
Oh. That's gonna make things much more difficult for Luffy. Luffy, I've only seen about the first 60 or 70 episodes of One Piece. There's like 800. I know that he gets crazy powerful later on. He gets like 5th gear mode or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know what that does for him. So I can only guess based on what I've seen.
Okay.
That said, I kind of feel like Aang would win because Luffy is a lot like Naruto. He's kind of happy-go-lucky. Even if he perceived Aang although Aang is too.
Yeah, Aang likes to mess around a lot.
Although when Aang actually has to fight, he gets very serious.
True.
Luffy, he still kind of messes around for a while until he like really, really has to. So with Aang being able to control fire is going to be a major problem against Luffy. Also water. Luffy can't swim. If he gets in the water, he's paralyzed. So if no one else is around, he's not going to be able to move. So Aang could very easily put a water bubble around him and win.
But this is assuming, does Aang wouldn't know that weakness, and water's not typically used for attack that much. So I don't know if that's the strategy Aang would go for.
That's true. That's a good point. He would probably use fire first, I would think.
Even when he learns everything, he doesn't like using fire, because fire is the element of hate. So he likes using, like, wind and earth the most, and water. However, he will use fire if it comes down to it.
See, the thing about Luffy, the thing about Luffy is, say he grabbed a boulder and kicked it on Luffy. That's not going to hurt Luffy. And I think Aang's going to realize that very early and realize that Earth probably isn't the best way to attack him.
Okay.
I don't know if he then goes for fire, if he's that adverse to it. Luffy, on the other hand, isn't going to really start to get serious until he starts to really get injured, which takes a while because he's basically a rubber man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I kind of feel like Aang would have to start using fire before Luffy would perceive him as a threat, because even if he put water on him, Luffy would just kind of freak out until he got out of it.
Okay. I kind of think, so water and earth both are used for a lot of defensive moves, right? So I can see Luffy coming in for like a punch and Aang putting up the wall of water and Luffy hitting it and starting to freak out, and Aang kind of picking up on, like, what's happening, you know? And then from then on out, maybe trying to do more air and water and kind of see what happens. However, what it ultimately comes down to, in my opinion, is if Luffy starts getting the upper hand, I think Aang will absolutely use fire. And if he mixes that fire and that wind in that forest, it's game over for Luffy. There is nothing he can do. He'll get surrounded super quick, and he can't... I mean, he could, like, slingshot himself out of there, maybe, but then Aang is technically still alive, and he retreated, so that would mean Aang technically wins.
Yeah. I don't know if Luffy would freak out just touching water. I don't know if he actually has to be in, like, the ocean, or... I don't know the specifics of it. Although, I do think Luffy could probably, like, roll his arms around and do something stupid and, like, push a bunch of air out to put out part of the fire. But I'm kind of with you. I think that Aang is a little bit overpowered for him. I mean, he could put him down in a pit, and even if Luffy gets out, which he would, trying to stretch, I mean, I don't know. I think Aang has this, really.
Yeah. I think it would be a good fight, but in the end, I definitely think Aang's going to come out of it.
Yeah, that's a tough one, though.
Thanks. Round 9. Aang, the last airbender. Boom, boom. And that concludes our Anime Showdown!
I was trying to think of something really cool to say after that, and I couldn't think of a single thing.
Aw, man. It's fine.
But that was that, and this is this. It's time for What You've Been Up To.
Hey, alrighty, Caleb. What have I been up to? Alright, it's not very naughty, but your boy has finished The Office all 9 seasons, and I was extremely sad. Let me tell you, Caleb.
We were just talking about this like 2 days ago.
I know, but I had 9 episodes the other night. I decided not to be a smart adult, and I stayed up till like 2 in the morning finishing. I was like, I started at like 11:30. I had a quiz and I finished it and I was like, I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of The Office. I'll still have 7 left. I ended up accidentally watching like 7. And then I was like, oh, I only have 2 more left. And then the last episode was an hour. So.
An hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was like 52 minutes. But, because it was, it was the finale. So.
You know what else is an hour that's coming out soon?
What?
Game of Thrones.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Returns this April.
I want to watch Game of Thrones.
It's April now. I'm pretty sure it comes out right around Endgame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, so I finished The Office. I was very sad, super sad. That's my all-time favorite show, so I will be restarting it soon. It's a good show to put on while you're doing homework or something, and it's really funny. It's really light. So that was kind of sad. It was kind of like watching someone pass away that you grew up with.
Oh,
in a way.
Wow, that's really sad.
Yeah, like I know that sounds like over dramatic and stuff, but I've really built connections to these characters, and I literally cried. I've never cried at the end of something. I have cried during something. #Naruto. But I haven't like cried at the end of something before, and this was just, it was so sad. I mean, it was happy. It was really happy, but it was just sad that it was ending, and I was like, I've seen all of it. There won't be any new things to come. And it was just really sad. But really happy too.
Yeah, Courtney and I are on the last season of Parks and Rec, and we might have a similar response.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, I think you would like The Office if you just skip the 4th season.
I don't have a problem with it. It's Courtney.
I know. Courtney needs to watch it. It's so good. Anyway, other than that, what I will be up to is going to see Shazam this Thursday with your wife and Coy.
Oh, so you guys are going officially?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I will be going as well by myself, which I haven't had to actually ever go to a superhero movie by myself.
No CNC Chris?
No, he works too late, so he's not going to be able to go. So I'll be chugging along by myself as a Mr. Bachelor.
Aw, Caleb. Sad day.
It's all good. I'll survive.
Man. Well, I'm hoping it's good. I'm excited for it.
I've heard good things. I've had a friend that has seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Fandango was doing early screenings a couple weeks ago that pretty much anybody could go to. And I thought about doing it, but I knew we were going to be doing an episode on it, and I didn't want to have to watch it twice because I didn't want that amount of time. Huh?
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, they were advertising it. He really liked it, so I have high hopes.
Okay, good. It kind of snuck up on me. It's not a movie that felt like it was taking forever to come out, like Endgame, which Endgame also is actually kind of snuck up. But I wasn't super anticipating it, but now that it's here, I'm really excited to go see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a fun time. I hope it is.
So that was what was up with me. Caleb, what you been up to?
All right, I haven't been doing a whole lot because I was out of town all weekend up at your place for my sister's birthday. I guess while I was up there, I did meet up with a friend of the podcast, Taylor Poole, where we talked about some potential exciting things to come in the future, which I will not talk about here. But, yeah, I haven't been doing that much. One thing I have been doing, I've been getting a lot more back into art. Back in the day, I used to draw a lot. I actually went to college for graphic design and art. I ended up changing my major to computer science, but I did go and I spent about a year and a half in the art program. And since I made the transition to computer science, I kind of haven't done as much art. I've been really busy. It's been several years now, but I'm trying to get back into it. I want to try to jump into animation, which I haven't done too much before. So that'll be cool if I can do that. The other tangible thing that I did this week is last night I jumped on Netflix and I watched the movie The Dirt, which is about Motley Crue, the band. It's based on a book they wrote about their life and how crazy it is. And when you hear the phrase sex, drugs, and rock and roll, let me tell you, that's all the movie is about. Yeah, actually, it's really good, though. I don't really know anything about Motley Crue. I mean, I've heard their music. I don't follow them or didn't follow them, but the movie was really good. It has the guy from Game of Thrones and from Inhumans, the brother, the evil dude. From both of those, actually.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
He's in it. It's got the guy from 11/22/63 that plays the shooter. He's been in some other stuff I can't remember. And then I didn't know the other two. At least I didn't know their names. But it's really good. It's not for kids, obviously. Very entertaining, though. It feels very real. It feels very honest, which is odd considering it's based on a book that the band wrote. I feel a lot of times those movies that are based on things that the band wrote color themselves in a better light than it actually was. And I guess that's possible here, although I'm not sure how you can paint yourself in a worse light.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
You mentioned Netflix. I actually completely forgot something I did, Caleb.
Oh, what is it?
I finished Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's still a few episodes I haven't seen.
Yeah, I literally, I just powered through it and watched it. I won't say anything about the last couple episodes, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
What was your favorite episode?
Ooh, okay, what episode? Okay, spoilers. In case you guys haven't seen it. We'll try to keep them minimal. But, what episode did you just watch?
I watched the first several back-to-back, and then I jumped around a bit. Trying to think. One of the last ones I watched in order was the yogurt one.
Okay. Yeah, that one was kind of weird.
Tell me the basis of the one you're thinking, and I'll tell you if I've seen it.
Okay, let's see. I was trying to come up with one. If I had to choose a favorite one, I think, I don't know. The first one was really good.
Really?
I really thoroughly enjoyed the first one.
Wait a minute. I did see that they're giving people different orders for the episode. So your first one might not be my first one.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, it's an experiment they're trying.
What? Okay, what was your first episode?
My first one was about the people that put their minds in the creatures.
Yeah, okay, that's what mine was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really liked that one. Have you seen the bug / spider / monster infestation one?
The one with the mechs?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, the one with the mechs and get to the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I really liked too.
I liked that one a lot. The first one, it was okay. It felt very, the entire series kind of doesn't paint women in a great light.
True.
But the first one had specifically some things in it that I was like, I don't know if that is really the best reason. And also, it felt a little bit more exploitive than the rest of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think the one that was the worst, I don't know if you've seen it, is the whole episode of the guy chasing the girl, the Asian girl.
Yeah, and I know why you say that. However, I feel like although that one has a lot of it in there, it's not like it came out of nowhere and it's destructive to the episode, I guess.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
There's a specific scene in there that could have been omitted, but I feel like the first one is a little bit more destructive to the episode.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. My favorite thing about it is not necessarily like a favorite episode I have. I love how the animation and the stories change so much.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my problem sometimes with shows that are on Netflix is they kind of seem to get really repetitive and it's just the same thing every episode with like maybe different characters or like a small change. But with these, they don't tie together. The animation's completely different. There's one episode that the characters look super realistic. And then there's another one where it literally looks like they're drawn on a piece of paper.
Yep.
So, Like, it's literally ridiculous, and the stories change majorly. I won't spoil anything, but there's stories about yogurt, solely about yogurt. There's stories about space stations. There's stories about other planets. There's stories about aliens and twins and robots, and it's so
and
good.
Death and love.
And death. Lots of death. Lots of love.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of my favorites. I like the funny ones. I like the 3 robots. I like the yogurt one. When I think of ones that stand out, those do mostly because the rest of them aren't funny. I really like the one with the Asian guy in it. The one about like the fox thing, the fox lady, and the Asian.
Oh, that one was really good.
Yeah.
No, that one may be my favorite. That one was really good.
I really like that one. And I also like the werewolf one, although to a much lesser extent. I'm not sure why I like that one, but I do like that one.
I think it just kind of had a good story. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like it didn't have that much of a story compared to a lot of the others. And it was pretty brutal sometimes, but...
It was pretty brutal.
I don't know. I liked it.
I'm excited. Has it been renewed for a second season? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm gonna look it up really quick. I want to say I saw something that either there were talks about it or it had.
I would love to see more anthology series like that, though. I will say probably my least favorite that I saw was the live action one.
That's your least favorite?
Yeah.
I could kind of see that one.
It feels kind of uninspired.
Yeah. I mean, the concept I think was kind of cool, but I think it was poorly delivered.
Yeah, I agree.
So this says okay, so it hasn't officially been ordered by Netflix yet. However, word of mouth says that it's going to get a second season, which I could totally see. Apparently, it's been getting really good reviews, and a lot of people have been watching it.
I know there's also a lot of concern about, like I said, his portrayal of women, but I think that's more from the critical side of people. Like critics and those sorts of people that write blogs and stuff, versus the majority of people.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you can always nitpick and look at different things in different shows. Now, this one is a little bit less nitpicking than other ones because it is a little bit more out there and obvious. But I feel like it doesn't always take away from the show. And granted, yes, they probably shouldn't be doing that. However, I still enjoy the show. If they could tone that back a little bit and kind of those other things that we talked about, I think the show could be infinitely better even. But I love it, right now, too.
I don't necessarily want to say that they should be doing it, but I kind of like it the way it is.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that it for this week, Jacob?
I think that is it, Caleb. You know who also loves deaths and robots?
And loves?
Robots?
Taylor Poole?
That's right. You guys should go ahead and head on over to see Taylor Poole like me and Caleb did this week. I saw him, Caleb saw him. Now it's your guys' turn. So go ahead and go onto the interweb and type in TAYLORPOOLE music.com. See what he's up to. He wrote our intro music. We absolutely love it. He's a great guy. Send him an email. See what's up. Yeah, just check out his stuff.
Speaking about great guys, also check out our friends CNC Power Hour over on Twitch, where they stream Magic the Gathering on Sundays and video games either on Saturdays or throughout the week. They're great guys. They have a lot of fun. They will definitely entertain you.
They the best. And while you're at it, you could just go ahead and check on our website. Caleb put a lot of work in it, and it looks fantastic. It's a really good place to share the episode, and that's CUZWERNERDS.com.
That's CuzWe'reNerds.com if you weren't paying attention.
CUZWEOE anyaudios.com.
Thanks for listening to 'Cause We're Nerds. Stay up to date with all the nerdy news and podcast drops by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also leave us comments and feedback at causewe'renerds@gmail.com. That's CUZWERENERDS@gmail.com. And as always, if you enjoy this podcast, we would love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Next week, just say the word. Shazam! Does DC's latest movie stay the course, or does it end up as their newest failure? Find out next week on 'Cause We're Nerds. And as always, stay nerdy.
You know what one of my favorite things is?
What?
So whenever we're getting to the end of the episode, and we're like laughing and dying and, crying and emotions are being spilled over the cup, and you're like, yeah, oh my goodness. Thank you for listening to Cosmonauts. It's so funny because like whatever emotion was 5 seconds before that, you have completely wiped your slate and just do that because I know we've said before, but Caleb does that every single time we begin and exit. That's not something we just plug in. So it's just really funny how we can go from one extreme and him go all the way back to like mild.
I have to, otherwise it doesn't sound right.
No, I know. It totally sounds better than if you were like, thank you for listening to, like that doesn't work. But, if you're like laughing high pitch and then you just stop everything, you're like, thank you to listening. Thank you to listening. Wow, that was good. That was good. That's why I don't do the outro right there. You see that?
All right. In honor of going back to a regular voice, Jacob, I want you to give me your best trailer voice.
Okay. Wait. Okay, trailer for what?
Okay, here's what you need to say. Okay. In a world where nothing matters.
Okay. Oh, man. I'm not going to be good at this. All right. In a world where nothing matters. Mic drop. That's what that was.
No, it could use
it
some
wasn't
more.
good.
It needs some more reverb, some more bass, maybe.
I can't do it, dude. My throat's more high pitched. I could be like, in a world where nothing matters.
Should I give it a shot?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. In a world where nothing matters.
Goosebumps. Absolute goosebumps.
One man enters the scene. His name? Jacob.
Boom, boom. Oh, man. Wow. All right. I'm going to go eat some pizza.
Okay. See ya.
See ya.